Hey everybody, welcome. This is my best in beauty video for the month of April 2017. I got some great favorites to share with you here, things I've been using a lot, loving a lot. Please bear with me as I continue to tweak the lighting in this room and just my positioning a little bit. I've gotten a new overhead light fixture that's kind of changed the way I'm moving my other lights around here and there, so it's just kind of a work in progress right now, but the room is nearly done. But here's what I went and did, like right as I was getting all my decor and all that sort of stuff that really isn't the most important, you know, in terms of functionality, but I'm really starting to get things the way I want them just for the look of the room. And then I decide I'm going to completely overhaul the way I'm storing it. So I have totally redone my storage, my drawers that are down like under this desk, those drawers back there. Everything's different. And it just started little by little. On Saturday afternoon, I was like, I'm just gonna weed some things out of these few drawers. And then before I know it, I've decided to take like the entire contents out, switch it to the other side, mix some things up. It's all for the best, you know, I'm really liking how it's coming together, but it just has really extended the redo of this room, you know what I mean? But let's jump on into the favorites, shall we? I want to mention a foundation that's kind of like a rediscovered thing. This was something that I knew I liked, like when it was new and it came out, I really was enjoying this foundation, but it's just sort of come back into my rotation as something I like a lot. And it's the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. And this says normal to oily skin. I definitely do not consider myself oily, but I do find I prefer the coverage, the finish on the skin, just the overall look of this so much more to the original Fit Me. And I wear this in the shade Nude Beige, and I'm just realizing I think I put Natural Beige in the info box on one of my recent videos, so I'll have to correct that. But I'm wearing this today, really satisfied with the overall look of my skin, and I guess I'm just taking into consideration these factors like it's so thin, it's so lightweight, it's so inexpensive, and you kind of just roll all that up into a ball and then you look at it and you think, yeah, that's impressive. I really like the look on the skin, so I just thought I'd pass that along. Ooh, I probably should have mentioned this first if we're going in kind of like chronological order of application. The Smashbox Photo Finish Pore Minimizing Primer. I have a bunch of different Smashbox primers that I've used, you know, just their regular, there's the light version, there's one with an SPF that I kind of like to throw in there at times, but this one has been so good for extending the wear of different foundations. I noticed it definitely when I was using that Model's Own foundation that I got when I was doing the one brand tutorial. But even prior to that, so many foundations that I've used this under. So many foundations that I've put on top of this have turned out to last really well throughout the day for me. And the consistency of it is kind of interesting. If you're familiar with Benefit's Porefessional, you know, it's kind of a beigey colored primer. And I feel like there's a little bit of thickness to that. Like it does thin out as you spread it across the skin. But this one, I feel like it's kind of similar to that in look, but it's much smoother. Even once it's blended out across the skin, it feels thinner. It feels more lightweight. I really love it around my nose, sides of the nose, anywhere where I have fine lines too, like kind of up above my eyebrows a little bit, sides of the eyes. Like it's been surprisingly good. I feel like if I'm enjoying this now, I'm going to really, really be enjoying it when it gets even hotter outside and sweat becomes a bit of a factor. I think this is going to be so great. Do you guys remember when I talked about the Wet n Wild Cushion color correctors? I have the one here for dark circles. It's the peach one. I also have the yellow, but the peach is the one that I feel is best suited to my skin tone, and it's working really well. I'm enjoying this. I've been wearing this a lot alongside the Maybelline foundation. I just feel like it's so freaking brightening up in here, and I do use it. When in doubt, I've been reaching for a flat foundation brush to apply concealers, and that just is really easy for this. I just dab in and blot it across my top of my cheekbone area, kind of under my eyes. I'm liking it for a lot of the same reasons I like that Fit Me foundation, the thinness, the lightweight nature of it all. If I want to set it, I can. I don't always feel like I have to. If I'm in a big rush, I might not. It's not a sticky product. It's not super orangey. You know, I'll show you what it looks like here in the packaging. And I'm not really that cracked up about the packaging. You might remember that from this particular video. But it's just a very soft peach. It does have the cushion in there. And I will link to the video where I did a full review and explanation of everything. Super rediscovered brow product here from Hard Candy. It's called the Brow In. pink, and I have it in medium dark. And the packaging is really cute on this. Hard Candy's big into the look of their products, I think. And this is a teeny tiny brush. Like, look how small that is. It kind of reminds me of Maybelline Lash Discovery, except maybe a little smaller than that. And this is so cool because if I'm in a rush, the point, like the very end of this brush, and this isn't like technically the way this product claims to be used, it's just something I've kind of figured out. The point is so fine that I can actually use that in a very pinpointed way to fill in certain areas, and then I can just brush through the entire brow to kind of get the whole evenness of color. You know what I mean? It's not heavy, very little product, as you can see, comes off on the brush. It's just a tiny brush, but the hold is fantastic. It's definitely more concentrated color than just a tinted gel. Like, it's what I've got in my brows today, and I think it just did a really good job in giving a very finished look. And sometimes you just need something that's very time-saving, that can be like 3 steps in one. You know, this is the fill-in. It's kind of an overall tint, but then it's also the hold. So that's been a really great product for me. I've got a new favorite go-to everyday lash, folks. It's the Ardell Wispies. It doesn't get much more classic than that. This is the multi-pack, and I got this from Target. I have trouble finding the multi-pack that's wispies in a lot of different places, but this is a great lash style. It might be just a teeny bit longer on the outside than the inside, but overall, I would say the main characteristic of this lash is that they are long in the center, and they're not quite so drastically like tapered down as the Demi Wispies are. You know, Demi Wispies really short in here, quite a bit longer toward the outside, and I have liked and worn those so much, but it's kind of like I'm just ready for something a little different. And these I'm wearing today, I just love the amount of length that's right in here. It's something about that's very eye-opening. It like almost stretches the eye a little bit more when you got all that length happening right out from the center of the eye. They're lightweight. I don't have to cut them, you know, left to right. They fit my eye really well, so I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of these, and I would definitely go back and repurchase more. But do you see what I mean for them being like an everyday, no big deal kind of lash? They thicken up my natural lashes, they lengthen them out, but they don't look super obnoxious. Like, I was wearing a borderline obnoxious lash in my Pirates of the Caribbean video when I was doing reviewing all that Lorac stuff. Not that I don't like that look. I mean, you know, I like a big lash from time to time, but this is the kind of lash that I guess you just don't get tired of, you know? It just makes sense. It looks nice for every day. And speaking of the eyes, couple things I've been experimenting with quite a bit. First off, the Lorac palette, which I don't consider a favorite. Get my full take on that palette in the actual review for sure. It's an enjoyable palette. It's not my most favorite must-have color scheme, you know? But aside from that, I've been experimenting a lot with some new Viseart palettes, new Theory palettes, the little like $45 smaller palettes. I haven't used them quite enough to be totally equipped for a video on those just yet, but it will be coming. But another thing that I've been loving is this Bare Minerals Bare Sensuals palette. And this one was mentioned, I think, in my new palettes video. It's so good. It's so me. You know, I love these tones that they've put in here. Basically, we're talking a row of kind of peachy warmth and then a row of plumminess down here at the bottom. And you can mix this up and use these shades however you want. You know, put peach on the lid or put plum on the lid, transition and blend out with the peachiness, whatever you want to do. But I wanted to offer one go-to way that I've been liking to use this lately. And it's basically peach on top and then the plumminess on the bottom. For example, with today's look, I've got Shazam on my lid. I've actually got Cloud 9 in my crease, which it might look too metallic and shiny for that, but it actually does offer some kind of deeper peachiness there in the crease. And then under my eye, I've got a combo of these two and a little bit of this one as well, just kind of smoked, smudged out on the lower lash line. I think that's so pretty. I think it's a fun way to combine a couple of different, very wearable colors on your eye. But this is a fantastic palette. One of the things that I love most about it, as I said when I first first talked about it, swatched it. I like how some of these shades surprise you in that they're a little deeper than what you would expect. Like some of these lighter tones end up really delivering in a big way on the eyes. Just color intensity, depth. They're just some really beautiful shades in this palette. If you like the warmth, but you also just can't pull yourself away from plum eyeshadows, this is just such a good palette. Lip product wise, I mean, obviously every time I sit down in a video, you see me sporting some type of lip product, but honestly, in my everyday around the house life, I've been balming it up lately, and I love this one. This is the one I got from the Sephora sale. It's the Smith's Tropical Ambrosia Balm with coconut and mango. It smells so fantastic. Like, this is getting me ready for the beach. I'm ready for summer. Sign me up. When you catch a whiff of it, it's just so juicy, and then you get that little whiff of coconut too, and oh, it's so good. And we're talking just clear lip balm here. It's a little bit thicker than the consistency of Vaseline, I would say. Actually, maybe quite a bit thicker than that. It definitely feels good on the lips. It's nice and smoothing without feeling too greasy. Fan of this line in general. I also love the rose scented lip balm that they make, but this is just, you know, 'tis the season for that type of lip balm. Lastly, I've got to point out the shower product that I'm enjoying, and I think it was my last Best in Beauty video. I had a facial type fail product with the St. Ives oil scrub. It was like a coconut oil with little scrubbies suspended in it, and I was using it in the shower, and it wasn't going over well. I thought the scrubbies were hard to rinse. I thought it was just a concept that didn't make sense, and now I am being rewarded with a product this month that really has worked well, and it's the Aveeno Positively Radiant 60-second in-shower facial. This is so good. I love this, and this is a product, it's like a cream. Let me just show you here. It just looks like a white cream, and it does have some scrubbies in it. I do not love this product for the fact that it's an exfoliating thing. I like it because it makes my skin feel moisturized and hydrated without feeling greasy, okay? It's doing much more for my skin in that capacity than it is for scrubbing, but it does contain little scrubbies. It says reveals brighter and rejuvenated skin in just 1 minute. Works with the steam of the shower to deeply but gently exfoliate away all traces of dirt, oil, dead skin, transforming dull, tired looking skin into brighter, more naturally radiant and velvety soft skin in just 1 minute. Velvety soft, bingo, that's what I'm talking about. This is also oil free. I don't know how they did it, but I truly do put this on in the shower. I wait approximately a minute. I have gone even longer. Probably not surprisingly to anybody, the longer you leave this on your skin, I think the more effect you get from it. More softening, more moisturizing, and I also use more product. At first, when I was using this, I was, oh my gosh. At first, when I was using this, I was using probably like a large pearl-sized amount. Like, I'm not wearing pearl earrings. Here's the weirdest size description today. But I was using like that much all over my face. Now I'm using probably double that amount. And I think the more product I use and I let it stay on maybe a few minutes as opposed to just 1 minute, once I rinse that stuff off, I kind of scrub it as I rinse, and it feels so good. Like, you can just tell your skin is softer after having used this. It's just like a nice little treat. I haven't always been taking the chance to like do a face mask these days or do a lot of really special stuff for my skin just outside of my standard skincare. So this kind of makes me feel like I'm doing something a little extra, and it just makes my skin feel really, really soft and nice afterwards. So that is the little cherry on top of this favorites video. I probably should mention my lip product that I'm wearing here because I do love it. I haven't worn it like all throughout the month, but I'll mention it to you. It's the Rimmel Lasting Finish by Kate number 30. So this is not one of the mattes. It's in the black standard packaging, but this is the color, and I'm wearing it with my Wet n Wild lip liner that very closely coordinates to that shade. It's the gel liner in Plum Together. So yeah, I've been wearing a lot of nude and light lips lately, so it was time for something deep and rich. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this video. Oh, can I throw one more thing in here for you? A TV favorite, House of Cards. Just finished the most recent season that's come out, and I think there's another one coming very soon. We really got way behind and then caught up on seasons 2 and 3 in a hurry. I mean, I felt like we kind of just barreled through those on the weekends. I'll have to get Tyler to do his Frank Underwood impression for you at some point and toss that into a video because it's quite good. But anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and I will see you soon. Bye.